Hello, I'm the Review Man. I review it and then you can watch it. Anyway, guys, yeah, this is my first review. My hair's growing back since the 50 subscribers video. This is my first review. I am reviewing Tommy Wiseau's The Room. The Room is about a dude named Johnny, who talks like he is, and he's like a cross between Tommy from the Power Rangers, the original Red Power Rangers, and Edward Scissorhands. And Johnny is a banker who gets a client who is pretty much just sugar daddy to his girlfriend Lisa. And Lisa is a gold digging tramp. And Lisa, she don't want to. Her mother's giving her all this advice that's saying, "Oh, you should date Johnny. You should marry Johnny, and Johnny's a good provider and all this." And she's saying to her mama, "I don't like him. I like his best friend Mark. Me and him having an affair." And Mark is just a bastard. That's plain and simple. But yeah, anyway. And then they got this kid that's named Denny. D-E-N-N-Y, like the restaurant. Denny's. And so yeah, anyway. Denny, he's sort of like the adopted son to Johnny because Johnny paid for him to live in the apartment, paid for his own apartment and all this other stuff. And the movie's going on. There's like 5 or 6, most of them. Yeah, there's like 6 different sex scenes in this entire movie. You got Lisa sleeping with Johnny. You got Lisa sleeping with Mark about 6 times. She's like, "I don't love Johnny, I love Mark." And Mark is like, "Yeah, well, Johnny's my best friend." And she's like, "Forget about Johnny. I don't forget about Johnny. And we can be together. I don't want to marry Johnny." And so the movie goes on. He's talking to Mark, he's talking to Denny, he's talking to his friend Peter, and they're all talking about women and all this other stuff. And Lisa spreads this rumor about how Johnny hit her and was drinking and all this. He wasn't drinking, she actually got him drunk and says, he hit me. And the most classic part of the entire movie is this line, "You're telling me apart, Lisa." I don't know. But yeah, anyway, this movie, it looks like it was filmed at a high school production class. I mean, I took high school production back when I was in high school, broadcast production class. It looks like that. This movie is pretty much filmed in that. But the movie is shot in San Francisco. It was shot in 2003, but the backdrop and all this stuff, it looks like it was like in the 1990s. So like to the backdrop of Mrs. Doubtfire. And while all the rest of this movie's going on, which that might be my next review, Mrs. Doubtfire, one of my next reviews. And while this is going on, the wedding keeps on going. Everybody's like, "Oh, you should marry Johnny," and pretty much Lisa is a gold digger. She's a gold digging tramp who just wants nothing to, because she doesn't love Johnny anymore. Johnny's oblivious to the whole thing, and she wants to be with his best friend Mark. And like I said before, Mark's just a bastard. And so yeah, anyway, the movie goes on. Him and Johnny and Mark are talking, and then Danny runs into some trouble with this drug dealer, and he's like, "Where's my money, Danny? Where's my money?" Has a gun to his head, and he was about to kill the guy until who comes in? Mark and Johnny. "Come on, let's get him to the corpse. Come on." He's gay. The dude, Johnny is from Australia, but I think he's from the Australian area, but he talks like he got a bad Australian accent. But he's been with Lisa for about 7 years, and they're just now getting engaged. And he claims he met Lisa at this, I forgot how. He met her at a bar. She was a waitress or something. And so yeah, anyway, on the first day, she bought dinner because he didn't have no money. And so he got into banking and all this other stuff. But yeah, anyway, let's see, movies keeps on going on. They're planning the wedding. And that's another big old thing. That's another big part in this movie. Everybody's throwing football, with the football around, throwing football. There's like 3 or 4 different scenes where Mark and Johnny are throwing the football. Mark and Johnny and Denny are throwing a football. Mark, Johnny, and Peter and Denny are throwing a football. They're even throwing footballs at their tuxes. I mean, yeah, that's my favorite pastime too. Oh, let's go out in the yard and let's go out in the back alley somewhere and throw the football around. And it's all fun and games until Peter trips. And he's like, man, I'm done with this. And so, yeah, anyway. Johnny is getting kind of suspicious that because he overhears Lisa talking to her mom. And she said, I don't want to marry him. I want to marry John. I want to be with Johnny. And then what Johnny says is, I'm not lazy. I'll set up something. I'll record the whole thing. And so what he does is he sets up like this tape recorder, puts it in a drawer, and records like the entire conversation. A bunch of different conversations. Oh yeah, and then there's like a scene earlier in the movie. They must have had like 3 seconds to film this scene at this location. It's this flower shop. Johnny comes in and he said, he parks his car outside. He said, hey, I like a dozen roses, please. Oh, and then he takes off his glasses and he's like, oh, Johnny, I didn't know it was you. You're my favorite customer. And then he pets the dog and he leaves. I didn't know it was you. You were my favorite customer. If he's your favorite customer, you should know that it's him. But yeah, anyway, I digress. On with the movie. And he sets up the recording device. He does it. He sets up the recording device, and the movie goes on. Oh yeah, by the way, all through the movie they're planning this wedding, which never happens. They get the tuxedos, they get everything else, but the wedding never happens. And the movie goes on. Lisa's continuing her affair with Mark. Johnny's becoming oblivious to the whole thing, but he's slowly piecing it piece by piece. Michelle, Lisa's friend, is Johnny comes in. He said it'll be our little secret, and she leaves. And he's like, "What secret? What you talking about? Oh, girl stuff. I don't have to explain myself to you anymore, Johnny. You're telling me apart, Lisa. I never hit you." And he's like, I don't love you anymore, Johnny. And I'm a woman. I can change my mind. And she goes upstairs. And at the next thing we see is the birthday party. Johnny sets up this whole private client thing. And then he's just walking around. He's going back to his house, and he walks into his house, and he said what is it? How do you put this? He goes into the house, and his birthday party. Everybody says surprise, and they're all having a good time and all this other stuff. And you see old Mark and Lisa. They're exchanging googly eyes at each other. He's like, listen. And then she said, okay, everybody, let's go outside and get some fresh air. So what everybody does is everybody goes outside. Everybody just goes outside. And Lisa says, come here, Mark. Mark's like, what? He said, Mark, I got a surprise for you. And then Mark's like, what's the surprise? And so they just start making out. And then one of their friends comes in and said, what's going on here? And he's like, none of your business, man. Why don't you keep your 2 cents in your pocket? What? 2 cents in your pocket? What the heck does that mean? What does that mean? 2 cents in your pocket. I heard to keep your 2 cents to yourself, but 2 cents in your pocket. I don't know. And okay, the movie keeps on going on, and he's like, I love Mark. I don't love Johnny. And Johnny makes this announcement that's saying, hey, everybody, we're expecting, which is of course a lie because there's no baby, and the only reason that she did that is to try to cover up her whatever lies that she told from still loving Johnny to sleeping with Mark to not wanting to be with Johnny anymore to all this other stuff and other stuff. She's like strung her own web of lies in this movie, and she's trying piece by covering it up, because you tell one lie, it extends to mushroom. And in the words of Judge Judy, if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. And then she's just expanding this. Her web of lies is about that big right there. She tells one more lie, that thing's gonna bust. And so the movie goes on, and Johnny sees that Mark and Lisa, they're touching and feeling with each other. Mark's like, Johnny said, "What the hell is going on here? You don't need to be with my girlfriend, and she don't feel the same way." And Mark's like, and then they all get in a fight, and Johnny says, "Okay, I'm sorry, Mark." They shake hands, and so party's over. Johnny runs up to the bathroom. Party's over. Lisa calls Mark, and Johnny's like, guys, heading up, got his head up against the door, like trying to listen in on the conversation, like. And then he overhears that Mark and Lisa are having this conversation. That's saying, "Oh, I don't want to be with Johnny anymore. I want to be with you." He said, "Come be with me, baby. Come be with me, baby." And so yeah. Anyway, him and Lisa have a fight. She's like, "I'm leaving you, Johnny," and go to Mark, and he gets all distraught, like, ah! He's going all over the house, tearing the whole house up, smashing windows, doing all this other stuff. Until finally, at the end, the pain and agony that he's feeling is so big and so hard on him that he ends up shooting himself. And then the last thing that we see in the movie is like, "Johnny, wake up! Johnny, wake up! Please be okay! Please be okay!" And Denny comes in. Denny's like, "You did this!" Denny's like, y'all go ahead and leave. I'm just gonna wait right here." And then Lisa said, "Oh, Johnny's gone now. We can be together." Mark says, "You bitch! I don't want to be with you anymore. You get out of here." And the movie just ends with all of them hovering over Mark and hugging and crying. And you hear like sirens and all this other stuff and cops going, all that going on, and pretty much all this other stuff. So yeah, that was The Room. Painful to watch. I'm sure this review was kind of painful, but the Nostalgia Critic reviewed it. That gave me the idea to review it. I'd never seen it before. The movie came out in 2003, so I watched it, reviewed it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my first review of 2017. So yeah, anyway guys, like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And tell me what other movies you want me to review, and I will review them. So yeah, anyway guys, have a good day. Like, comment, subscribe, and happy 2017.